Hello. Hi guys, happy Monday. Trust that all is well with all of you. I hope that you would have had a revitalizing, rejuvenating, re-energizing weekend. I hope that you would have done something that would have caused you to pause, catch your breath, refuel, reboot for this new week that is ahead. It is the final Monday in the month of June. And you might be asking yourself, where is Melina? Nothing about this background, this whole imagery that she's portraying here speaks of preparedness. Let me tell you what happened. So, it's Sunday, and it's not the last Sunday in June. However, it's the last Sunday in May. And I was looking through all of the videos that I had prepared for the months ahead. So I have all the way up to August recorded, but I have up to like the first 2 weeks in October in terms of topics and ideas for recorded. And when I got to June, somehow I recorded 4 Mondays for June and not 5. So in doing my thumbnails and descriptions for the month, I was like, okay, a Monday is missing, so we had to do a Monday. So here we are in my Sunday best, because it's self-care Sunday. And I said, you know what, why can't I record a video right here and now? And my son said, no, I said, why I can't just record a video looking like this? And my son said, pride. And I said, pride nothing. Went inside, got my mic, and I got my phone, and I said, we are doing it right here and now. So today, the video that I want to record, the thought that I want to bring to our attention, because I told them, hey, we were just talking about whatever we were talking about, and I said, let opportunity meet you prepared. It's my status on my WhatsApp. And my son said, why do you have videos recorded all the way up to August? I said, so that. And I pointed to the leg of my son, who is in a cast at the moment because disaster struck. And I said, this is why I have videos recorded all up until that, so that when things come to disrupt your life, you are also prepared. And I said, let opportunity meet you prepared, as well as let disaster, disruptions, whatever you want, what D you want to call it, let that also meet you prepared. And you might say, okay, Melina, how is that scriptural? So Joseph, he was in a predicament. Not Joseph. Pharaoh was in a predicament. He had a dream, and God told him of what was coming. There were going to be 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. What Joseph did was to let disaster meet him prepared. So he prepared during the 7 years of plenty for the disaster that was coming. The thing is, he knew that disaster was coming. I, on the other hand, did not know that disaster was right there. As a result, I am saying, because we don't know, or may not know, because God could warn us. If we happen to not have the warning, like Pharaoh, like Joseph, like all of Egypt, to be able to prepare for impending danger, the best thing that you can do for yourself is to prepare yourself for the just in case. In case I don't have the time. In case, I remember there was a year I had the cold really badly. I don't really get sick, but that month I had the cold real bad, and I had no voice. And of course, Mondays are Monday like normal, and devotionals are expected to be posted. But I had videos pre-recorded. So I didn't have to struggle, I didn't have to fuss, I didn't have to be frustrated, because I was prepared for something that I didn't know was coming. I am just saying to us today, as we end in this beautiful month of June, Leading on to the best month of the year, I just want to say, just be prepared. Be prepared. I remember in 2020, at the end of 2024, was it the beginning? No, it was the beginning. The first day, I remember messaging a friend of mine, and I was wishing her a happy anniversary because it was her wedding anniversary. And she said to me, "Hey, let me go to New York now. You have your visa?" Mind you, I got my visa, didn't use it for a whole year, but I just felt like I needed to get my visa. Did I have plans on traveling within the next 3 months, 4 months, 6 months of getting the visa? No, I did not. In fact, I got my visa, and the next place that I ended up in was England. Not with the visa, in England. But when she said, let's go to New York in April, January of that month, I said, yes, I do have my visa. And that opportunity made me prepared. She said, you don't have to worry about accommodation, just get your ticket. That opportunity made you prepared. As well as let unfortunate, unplanned predicaments also meet you prepared. So I'm just saying, the first half of the year is through. We are saying goodbye to the first half of 2026. I honestly, by the time May ended, wanted to do CPR on 2026 because I felt like somebody needed to do a factory reset on the year, because what happened, what was happening, what? And so, because we do not know what the next 6 months will hold, July to December, let's try as much as possible to be prepared as much as possible for any outcome, good, bad, or indifferent. So until next time, this is me in my very homely state on this gracious Sunday, saying toodles and all the best for the second half of 2026.